Hello and welcome back to another video. Today going to be talking you through everything you need to know for the next two series on Forza Horizon 5, Series 28 and Series 29. Starting with Series 28 then, which as usual at this time of year has a winter Wonderland theme, and this is what we're going to have in the festival playlist as prize vehicles. To start with, the overall prizes are the Porsche Mission R for 80 points and Koenigsegg Agera for 160 points, neither of which are new to the game, but it's another chance to get either of those if you don't have them already. The overall prize tab also confirmed the inevitable Secret Santa feature that returns, where we're given a prize car if we gift enough things to other players. Pretty much the same as it worked previous years, but the first one of these will be the GMA T50, which was of course recently added to Forza Motorsport, so no surprise that that's coming across. And the second prize is yet to be revealed, but allegedly this will be the Aston Martin Valkyrie, which is also coming to Forza Motorsport very soon. On to the individual weeks then, which confusingly are all the winter season. So then, in the winter season, which starts on the 7th of December, for 20 points you can win the Lotus 211, which returns from Horizon 4, and for 40 points there's another opportunity to win the MG6 X-Power if you missed it when it was previously in the playlist. In the winter season, which starts on the 14th of December, for 20 points you can win the Morgan Aero GT, which returns from Horizon 4, and for 40 points there is another chance to win the Lynk & Co TCR car if you missed that last time it was in the playlist. In the winter season, which starts on the 21st of December, for 20 points you can win the new to Forza 2022 Subaru BRZ, which is good to see and no surprise because we got the most recent Toyota GR86 very recently and they're essentially the same car, so no surprise to see the updated Subaru BRZ in the game as well. For 40 points, there is another chance to win the Porsche 935 if you missed it the previous time it was in the playlist. And finally, in the winter season, which starts on the 28th of December, for 20 points you can win the Lotus 340R, which returns from Horizon 4, and for 40 points there is another chance to win the Lamborghini Huracan STO if you missed it when it was previously in the playlist. There is also, rather irritatingly, yet another new paid car pack coming to the game. This is going to be the Fast and Furious car pack, or Fast and Furious 10 car pack, or Fast and Furious X, or whatever it wants to be called, containing 5 cars, and will be priced at $7.99, I believe, as with the previous pack, slightly larger pack of this size, with 5 vehicles. And those 5 vehicles are an old Datsun 240Z, of course, modified. I think these are all in the film, I haven't actually seen it. The Flip Car 2.0, Dom's 1970 Charger, a Chevy Impala Supersport, classic thing. They say it's purple, but it looks very pink to me in the pictures, but very cool thing. And a Dodge Charger SRT Hellcat Red Eye Wide Body, which has a ridiculously long name and is actually a pretty cool car. Drove that recently in the Crew Motorfest, a lot of fun. So yeah, if you're into Fast and Furious, it's a great pack. For me, it's actually the least interesting pack we've had so far, but I probably will still get it so that I can show you guys the cars. At this point, though, I am seriously considering not buying these anymore, as it is getting quite ridiculous how often these paid packs are being added and how much they're adding up to. Especially when the Lamborghini Huracan STO Super Trofeo Evo that was in one of the early packs, the Italian pack, is now also in Forza Motorsport's paid car pass. So I've paid for that car twice within the last 6 months, basically. So when things like that start happening, yeah, I don't think... At some point I'm going to have to stop buying these if they keep adding them. That's not all the new to Forza Horizon 5 cars that are coming to the game. We are also seeing 4 cars from Horizon 4 return via the auto show where we can just go and purchase them, which to be honest is where they should have been since launch. But anyway, they're going to be adding the Aston Martin DBR1, the Ferrari 512S, the Porsche 906 Carrera 6, and the Jaguar C-Type. As well as all of these new cars, there are a few other changes in this update. For example, the stadium is getting a winter makeover as part of the evolving world, And surprisingly, they haven't just copied and pasted the sort of empty ice rink thing that they've had in there the previous 2 years. They've made a completely new world, themed as a winter wonderland inside the stadium, with trees, log cabins, and igloos, as well as a new location for the Secret Santa thingy, where we gift the things to win the GM8050 and the Valkyrie. This also brings with it a new race route, which I'm assuming is something we're going to be able to continue using for blueprints after this update. But this looks super fun, so we'll probably use this in our racing series in December. And Event Lab also sees several new props, most of them racetrack themed. I'll put a list of all of them on screen here. But basically there's curbs, barriers, brake markers, and a whole load more, all of which are snappable. I absolutely can't wait to use those. And the barriers, the sort of Armco-style metal barriers that they've introduced that clip together. I did actually suggest that idea on the Suggestions Hub a little while ago, so I'd kind of like to take some credit for that. But yeah, super cool that they've added these. It's going to be fantastic to make some more realistic racetracks, if we can say that, in Horizon. But yeah, we're going to be able to make some things with super cool racetrack vibes, I think, using those. They also, as ever, posted after the stream this list of release notes and game fixes that are going to be introduced along with the update. That's all for Series 28 then, but as they have done in previous years, the pre-Christmas stream sees them give us some information about the New Year's update as well, so that the developers can have a Christmas break, I suppose. So then, let's get into Series 29, which is the Community Choice series, which you may remember a little while ago, we were invited to fill in a survey to vote for some cars we wanted to see return, the sort of events and things we wanted to see, and this is what has resulted from that. So all of these things are what you, the Forza community, have chosen. So then, let's start again with the festival playlist prizes. The overall prizes are the Nissan GT-R Nismo and Porsche 911 GT3, both of which are of course already in the game. In the summer season, which starts on the 4th of January and follows on from winter somehow, for 20 points you can win the McLaren 12C, which of course returns from Horizon 4, and for 30 points, it's here. It's finally been added, the most beautiful car ever made, and the one that I've been asking for them to add since this game launched. I've been really missing this thing, and in this game it will be under the correct manufacturer and not under James Bond. It is of course the simply stunning Aston Martin DBS. So, as you can imagine, I can't wait to drive this one. Almost makes me look forward to Series 29 more than the one that's about to arrive. Anyway, before I talk about the DBS all day and I get too excited about that, let's move on to the autumn season, which starts on the 11th of January, and for 20 points you can win the Koenigsegg CCX, and for 40 points you can win the Lykan Hypersport, both of which again return from Horizon 4. In the winter season, which starts on the 18th of January, for 20 points you can win the Pagani Huayra, and for 40 points you can win the Mercedes 280 SL. And finally, in spring season, we get the GTA Spano for 20 points and the Fiat Dino for 40 points. Again, both of these return from Horizon 4. All of these cars, though, are great to finally see come back in Horizon 5, because, yeah, I've missed most of these, particularly that DBS, of course. That's not all, though. Several cars that were previously playlist exclusives that you had to go and win are also now going to be added to the auto show. I'll put a list of the cars that are going to be added somewhere on screen here. There are also several new badges, including an incredible Cat one, which is going to be obtained from owning 800 unique vehicles, which will soon be possible. They've added 100, or they will have added 100 by the end of these two updates, since that 700 badge was introduced. And finally, after we got all this information, we were again, of course, given a tease of what the following update will be. Series 30 will be themed around Lunar New Year, rather unsurprisingly, but it will include new cars, as ever, a new collectible, a stadium drift arena, and a dragon drone show, whatever they may end up being. So then, a bit of an information overload this time with 2 series being revealed in the stream, which I actually forgot they usually do at this time of year. I don't know what to think of Series 28, really. The cars in the playlist overall are a bit of a disappointing bunch. The new BRZ is good to see, but another paid car pack is just a bit ridiculous. There is, though, the GMAT50 and the Valkyrie, potentially, which are pretty good additions, although those are kind of recycled from Motorsport, so technically the BRZ is the only new vehicle. There are also some cars being added to the auto show returning from previous games, which will be really good to see, and probably is where the recycled and returning vehicles should end up, to be honest. But as well as that, there is a collection of new props, which I very much look forward to using, which should make building a realistic track so much easier, which is the sort of thing I tend to build in Event Lab, so can't wait to use that. Series 29, I'm actually looking forward to as much as Series 28, despite it having no actual new to Forza cars in it, because the cars that it brings back from Horizon 4 are an incredible selection. Particularly the DBS, of course. I can't wait to drive that in Horizon 5. I've been waiting since the game's launched to do that. I also really want that new cat badge as soon as I can get it as well, so I'm going to have to go and unlock all of these cars. For now, though, for today's video, that is all of the information we have about the next 2 updates. Do let me know what you think of them, but for now, that is going to be all, so thank you very much for watching, and I will be back with the next one very soon.